Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Conversations with Geoff. As you can tell, we're a little bit off center here this morning. It is morning time in Texas. For those of you that are new, welcome to Conversations with Geoff, where our mission is to help identify the emotional, spiritual, and mental wounds that lie deep in us through the messaging from our guests that come on from all over the world that share their experience in the battles through the comebacks, share their, the things that they went through, man, keeping it real and raw with you. Those of you out there who want to do more with your life, those of you out there who know you're meant for more, take some of these solutions and put them to use right away, right? Because that stinking thinking is fueled by the old wounds. That stinking thinking is screaming at you all the time from all the stories that we were told, all the experiences that I had as a child growing up, and then, getting into an adulthood and then having failures and all that life stuff that happens to us all, right? And then, man, once we hear what that is and know what that is and begin to take new lessons around that, use new lessons around that, that's right? What do? We begin to replace that stinking thinking with a different message. But before all that has to happen, man, we got to do some work. And that's the part where a lot of people turn away. That's the part where a lot of people just, my experience has seen, where they don't make that decision because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be quick. It takes time to heal, right? It takes time to get things together. And most importantly, a desire to want to do something different in your life. Nothing changes. And my wife's been saying that lately because we're going through some stuff. And it needs to change in some areas, right? And a lot of it's on me. So I know what that feels like when you hear it. But I want to tell you that it's possible. So, and for those of you that are here for our show today, our guest, Kimberly Henry, I want to tell you, I think I may have made an error in making some communication with her, and I wanted to make sure we got this thing kicked off in time to let you know that she may not be here today. I'm hoping that she's still able to log on. Give me a couple of minutes. I still do some of these things myself, which I'm obviously not the best at, but I'm committed to showing up anyway. Right? So, but I wanted to just go back to what I was talking to you about just for a moment and challenge you. I made a note here, right? I talked to you about our mission, which is identifying the emotional, mental, and spiritual wounds. Being aware of that messaging, being aware of it, and then being willing to replace it. Taking some different steps to replace it. But most importantly, man, you got to be willing to go back and look at that stuff. And we help you with that. We help you figure out what it is that keeps showing up when opportunities, good opportunities, great opportunities. How many of us have had, I know I'm not the only one that have had successful opportunities come across our path. And one way or another, we either start them and get in the way of finishing them, or we don't start them because of whatever negative messaging you want to tell ourselves. Or we're still kicking the can down the street and the opportunity just is still waiting for us to make a different decision. I mean, all of that stuff is real. So with the holiday season, I want us to, and I made a note here, so I want to look at this thing here before I get out here. And I want you to hear this when I say it to you. Freedom of change seems to come after we accept ourselves. How many of us out there are still in denial of the fact that, man, we really are running on autopilot. We really are running on the fuel of the stinking thinking. We really are dodging the steps in the comeback. So we're sitting still, or we're in the comeback and we're not sure how to take the next step, or we're just getting done. Made it through, catching our breath for the next one. But man, we have to accept ourselves as who we are first. Before anything changes. Oh man, just like for me when I you guys know, I surrendered. I hit my bottom, and I had to surrender the fact that I was, no matter how well I looked on the outside, right? No matter how much success I had the dressed up garbage can life, I had to admit that I had a problem, right? I couldn't handle life on life's terms. My emotions, my spirit, mentally, right, was beat up. So I had to surrender. I had to admit that, hey, everything I thought about myself may not be true. And I do have a problem. And then once I had made that admission, I was able to begin a new path. And the path wasn't easy. Right? But over the last 30 years, I've gained some experiences in understanding and having some empathy around the stinking thinking and how it can keep us a prisoner, how it can really show up when everything is going great and it hits the switch, the thermostat switch, and all of a sudden we start to self-destruct. Right? So anyway, with the holiday season upon us, we're in it. Christmas is next week, families next week, all kinds of triggers for those of us out there that are really kind of just, not sure where we're going, not sure how to handle life anymore, really just ready to throw the towel in, don't do it. And you fellas out there, right? I mean, I want to just talk to the fellas for a moment, right? Those guys out there who like I was, right? This time of year, holiday season should be joyous and happy and free. But for those of us out there, gentlemen in particular, that, everything's good on the outside. We're still in that battle to be successful. We're still making sure that we keep everything under control, but we're guarded, right? We are in these bad relationships. We're making bad choices. Some of us have a whole lot of gifts to buy for a whole lot of different ladies and whoever you are seeing, right? To kind of keep that crazy momentum going. It's time to stop, right? There is a better way. and chasing the crazy does not have to be how you live the rest of your life. In the holiday seasons, Valentine's, and all that stuff, when it comes to emotional connection, it's really when the stuff hits the fire, man. And things are out of control. So if you are stressed out and worried about one more year, one more season in the holiday craziness, because you're not sure how to change how you've been, man, I encourage you to reach out to me. Let's talk. We got some great things and we're working on. And I want you to know that there is a better way. So, anyhow, I think that I want to close with this. Main responsibilities to keep negative thoughts, emotions, and attitudes out of our heart. Because everything starts in our head and it rolls down through our body and into our heart. Right? And it just sounds out in that stinking thinking. So the responsibility I want to leave you with today, and you fellas out there, I mean, there's a whole lot more I can say about what this life is when we're living in that kind of sick and self-serving space, that there is a way out. And vulnerability, my friend, is your friend. Surrendering is your friend. Understanding that, hey, somebody can help you with that issue that we have when we're right. I mean, I can remember, man, just the holiday. I keep saying I'm going to go away, but I can't help but just talk a little bit more about, to the fellas in particular. You ladies out there that have some fellas that you're looking at, they're like a little crazy, you're not sure about them, but you care about them and they seem to care about you. Maybe they need to have a conversation with me around this stuff, right? Running away from the hurts in the past, running away from the disappointments in the past, running away from the mistakes that we've made in the past and covering it up and stuffing it just does not work, man. Right? And guarding yourself. Oh, man. I mean, if you hear this, I want you to put in there, guard, if you've ever guarded yourself, protected your emotions, denied real feelings because you were afraid to get hurt again. Drop it in the chat and let me know, guard. Put it in there, man. I mean, I know I was. Right? From an early age, it got my feelings hurt, right? Woo, but I didn't find all this out until I did what I'm telling you about surrendering the stuffing. No more stuffing, Only in Turkish do I eat stuffing. No more personal stuffing of emotions and feelings. As much still happens sometimes, but I have some keys now that I can unlock that door, close that door and lock it, and open another door, right? So I want you to know this, that it's been a great year to be able to show up here, Conversations with Geoff. I don't know if we'll have one Christmas Eve or not. I think so. Maybe we'll have a short Christmas carol session. You guys want me to sing to you? No, probably not. But I want to just say to you that, man, however the year's been for you, the ups and downs, I've had some really high highs and some really, really, really low lows. Losing my sister and business partner, to still battling some business issues that, are still unresolved, in the real estate space. Still carrying some disappointments around that and some unresolved relationships, right? But I'm happy to say that we keep showing up anyway. In spite of, we keep showing up because of the encouraging words that people drop by all the time. You never know when an angel's in front of you, right? My wife likes to talk about giving you flowers. How many of us like to have flowers? Put in the chat flowers if you're one of those people that appreciate being recognized, appreciate compliments, appreciate just a smile sometimes, right? Let alone something that goes above and beyond, something that you've done that they recognize and give you credit for. So, anyhow, with family, everything gets heightened around the holiday season. And we all kind of have different battles that we're fighting. But I want you to know that whatever it is, that whatever you're fighting, and this thinking is a root cause of a lot of your feelings and emotions. And it doesn't have to continue to run the show. So as I leave you this day, and I want to ask you as always, who do you see looking back at you in the mirror? Is it the person that you say, hey, I finally believe in, can receive, or is it that person that's still struggling, hiding down, not wanting to look back at you? Either way, there's still some work to do. But I want you to know it's okay. Right? Because we are all meant for more. Nothing shall stop us from reaching our destiny. We will not be denied. We are worthy of success. I am worthy of success. Nothing will stop me from reaching my destiny. I will not be denied. Worthy is such a powerful gift in prison. How many of us battle with not feeling worthy, not feeling enough? Man, ooh, I know I did, and have sometimes still. Right? I just recently had some stuff. I think, man, what am I doing? Who am I thinking I can do this? But then I remember, it's not going to be easy. The gift is not going to come in a pretty bow. It's going to come in the struggle. It's going to come in the comeback, baby. Woo! So I pick myself back up. I uncurl myself from the ball. And I keep moving. So, man, I could talk about this stuff all day, but I'm not going to. I'm going to really leave you with this. Appreciate all the support we've had over the year and plus, and continued support. And I want you to know, I want you to hear me loudly when I say this, that you are worthy of success. You are worth it. Don't let anybody, anything, or anything you've done keep you from finding out who you're really meant to be, who you're really meant to serve. Because we're all meant to serve somebody. We all are. Right? And fellas, reach out to me, man. I want you to hear me when I tell you that craziness that's going on, and blaming people and having feelings about whatever it is that you're, going through doesn't have to be that way. There is a better way. So stop it. Reach out and let's have a conversation. So anyhow, share this message. I think I dropped some stuff in there. I know it's been all over the place. Sorry about that. Sometimes it's like that. And stay tuned for our next guest when we get her on here. And, I'm sure whatever happened is on me. I'll take the responsibility because she is a dynamite person, always willing to show up. And so we're going to see if we can get her back on the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic day. Have a great weekend coming up. Stay safe if you're out there in the crazy malls, if you're shopping. And remember, family is a great thing, and family can be a trigger. Be kind, be compassionate. Treat yourself like you want to be treated. Treat others like you want to be treated. Treat yourself, too, like you want to be treated. Oftentimes we don't. So anyway, appreciate everybody that's dropped in. Let me know where you're coming from in the comments, and if this resonated with you. And I'm going to say this, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And that means guard from everybody, family included, right? Oh, I love you. I just want you to know that. And so I'm concerned about you making your decision to do whatever that might be that doesn't fit what they think. So, I'm going for sure now, guys. Have a fantastic day. Appreciate you. See you next week. And remember, you're worthy of success. Nothing will stop you from reaching your destiny. You shall not be denied. Do not let it happen, baby. See you on the next episode of Conversation with Geoff. Fellas, reach out to me. Let's chat.